Lecture 1.2, The Evolution of Influence Operations, from Deception to Digital Warfare. This lecture explores the history and development of influence operations, tracing their origins from ancient times through the Cold War and into the digital era. We will examine the tactics, tools, and objectives behind these operations, highlighting how they have evolved with technology and geopolitical shifts. Agenda overview. We will cover 5 key areas: the historical foundations of influence operations, Soviet active measures during the Cold War, digital influence tactics in the internet age, modern tools including deepfakes, and finally, the objectives and broader consequences of contemporary influence campaigns. We begin with the historical foundations of influence operations. Influence operations have been around for centuries. Sun Tzu wrote, "All warfare is based on deception." Influence operations have deep historical roots, with strategic deception and psychological tactics employed by leaders and empires throughout history. But modern information warfare took shape during the Cold War. This introductory part of this lecture will explore some early examples that laid the groundwork for modern practices. Let's begin with the ancient roots, Sun Tzu and the Art of Deception. Sun Tzu's classic work emphasized the importance of deception, misinformation, and psychological manipulation in warfare. His principles form one of the earliest recorded frameworks for influence operations, highlighting strategy beyond physical force. If you are not familiar with Sun Tzu's works, please go ahead and read so that you can get the basic information as we proceed. From Sun Tzu, we move on to modern examples of psychological and information tactics. During early modern periods, states increasingly used propaganda, misinformation, and psychological tactics to influence both domestic populations and foreign rivals. These early forms of information warfare set the stage for more complex operations. The Cold War era. We look at Soviet active measures. The Cold War saw the Soviet Union deploy elaborate influence campaigns known as active measures, aimed at undermining Western cohesion and advancing Soviet interests through covert and overt tactics. Definition and objectives of active measures. Active measures were strategic operations using disinformation, propaganda, and covert actions designed to influence public opinion, sow discord, and erode trust in adversaries during the Cold War. Key tactics: spreading conspiracy theories and forging documents. Soviet tactics included fabricating documents, spreading false conspiracy theories, and manipulating media channels to distort facts and create confusion, effectively destabilizing targeted societies. Use of human assets: diplomats, journalists, and intelligence operatives. The Soviets leveraged a network of human assets across diplomatic, journalistic, and intelligence sectors to disseminate disinformation and covertly influence foreign governments and populations. From the Cold War era, we move to the digital revolution, influence operations in the internet age. The advent of the internet and social media revolutionized influence operations, expanding their scale, reach, and sophistication. Let's examine how digital tools transformed information warfare. The rise of troll farms and online influence actors. State and non-state actors established coordinated troll farms to flood social media with divisive content, manipulate narratives, and amplify disinformation to shape public discourse online. Social media as a force multiplier for misinformation. Social media platforms facilitate a rapid dissemination of false information, enabling influence operations to reach large audiences quickly and with minimal cost, making misinformation campaigns more effective. Algorithmic amplification and micro-targeting with harvested data. Influence actors exploit algorithms and micro-targeting by harvesting user data to tailor messages precisely, increasing the impact of campaigns by appealing to specific groups' fears and biases. Modern tools and tactics, from forged letters to deepfakes. Influence operations have adapted to new technologies, evolving from traditional forged documents to sophisticated artificial intelligence-generated content and synthetic media, posing new challenges for detection and defense. And now we look at the evolution of technology, meaning that we are transiting all the way from radio broadcasts to artificial intelligence-generated content. Technological advances have continuously shaped influence tactics from early radio propaganda to today's AI-driven content creation, enabling more convincing and scalable deception. Real-time campaigns and the role of automation. Automation tools allow influence operations to respond in real time to events, rapidly adjusting narratives and deploying disinformation with minimal human intervention. Emergence and implications of deepfakes and synthetic media. Deep fakes and synthetic media represent a new frontier in influence operations, creating highly realistic but fabricated audiovisual content that can undermine trust and complicate verification efforts. What are the objectives and consequences of contemporary influence operations? Modern influence campaigns aim to destabilize societies, influence political outcomes, and erode democratic institutions. Understanding these objectives and their impacts is critical for developing effective countermeasures. Undermining trust and polarizing societies. A key goal is to erode public trust in institutions and media, fostering polarization and social division to weaken societal cohesion and democratic resilience. A look at the issue of influencing elections, policy, and public opinion. Influence operations target electoral processes, policy making, and popular attitudes to sway outcomes in favor of adversaries' strategic interests. Deniability, hybrid tactics, and the concept of gray zone warfare. Actors often employ hybrid tactics that blend overt and covert actions to maintain deniability, operating in a gray zone below the threshold of traditional warfare to achieve strategic objectives. Some formative questions for you. What was a key tactic of Soviet active measures? Was it A, launching cyber attacks on power grids. B, spreading conspiracy theories and forgeries. Or C, creating deepfake videos of leaders. Well done. The correct answer is B, spreading conspiracy theories and forgeries. Question number 2. How has the internet changed influence operations? How has the internet changed influence operations? Here is a sample answer for you. It enables mass-scale, low-cost, rapid dissemination using fake accounts and algorithms. Question number 3. Why are modern influence operations considered deniable? Why are modern influence operations considered deniable? Here is a sample answer. Because attackers can hide behind proxies, fake identities, and plausible deniability. Based on the formative questions, here is another take. Spreading conspiracy theories. Soviet active measures included distributing conspiracy theories and forged documents to distort perceptions and narratives. Internet's role in influence. The internet allows rapid mass dissemination of influence campaigns using fake accounts and algorithmic amplification. Deniability in modern operations. Attackers leverage proxies and fake identities, making their involvement difficult to prove and maintaining plausible deniability. Conclusion. Influence operations have continuously evolved from ancient deception to sophisticated digital campaigns. Recognizing their history, tools, and goals is essential to countering their disruptive effects on societies worldwide. We have come to the end of Lecture 1.2. Up next is Lecture 1.3, Key Actors in Information Warfare. I hope to see you then, and best wishes.